It's been 3 months since U.S. President Donald Trump and the United States launched the war on Iran, but the president's approach to the war is confusing allies at home and abroad as he shuttles between diplomatic dealings, military strikes, and increasingly far-fetched ideas. Reports say the U.S. and Iran have reached an agreement to extend their ceasefire and lift restrictions on shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, while Trump has yet to approve it. Iran has made clear that it will not sign any deal that doesn't align with its interests. In an interview to Fox News, President Trump said that Washington retains overwhelming leverage in negotiations with Iran and has warned that military action remains an option if talks fail to produce a favorable outcome. At the same time, the U.S. president says that he's letting the situation run its natural course to see its final outcome.
Well, a deal that wasn't going to be good for us is the line, ultimately, because, I'm playing it out and we're going to see, and that's what I do. I negotiate, they negotiate. They're very good negotiators. They're crafty. But in the end, we have all the cards because we've defeated them militarily.
Just the day before President Trump turned his fire on Oman, America's own ally, this after Tehran urged Muscat to jointly manage Hormuz shipping fees.
International waters. Nobody's going to control it. We're going to watch over it. We'll watch over it, but nobody's going to control it. That's part of the negotiation that we have. They would like to control it. Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up. They understand that. They'll be fine.
Last week, in a Truth Social post, President Trump said that he has instructed his negotiators not to rush into a deal with Iran. He went on to say that both sides must take their time and warn that there shouldn't be any mistakes.
Does that give you more urgency, Mr. President? You've said that you're in no rush to make a deal, but with gas prices that are still high across the country, people are paying more for travel. Does that give you more urgency to make a deal? Why doesn't it?
Well, I'll tell you, the primary urgency I have, I said this, it wasn't covered properly, but the primary urgency is that we can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. But at the same time, we have a tremendous amount of oil.
Earlier this month, the U.S. president warned that his patience is running out with Iran, demanding that Tehran agree to a nuclear deal and immediately reopen the Strait of Hormuz. His comments followed a high-profile summit in Beijing with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Tehran remains firm on several red lines. Iran wants the removal of U.S. troops from key regional positions. It wants access to nearly $24 billion in frozen assets. Tehran has refused to transfer sensitive nuclear material out of its control. Tensions have escalated after U.S. and Iran traded strikes on each other as a fragile ceasefire holds. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Mohammad Ishaq Dar is flying to Washington today to meet with his U.S. counterpart, Marco Rubio, in an attempt to speed up the negotiations, as both the U.S. and Iran refuse to cede their core positions. The big question some are asking is whether or not the president is trapped in his own strategy. All right, well, to find out, we are joined live by retired Colonel David B. DeRoche, professor at Thayer Marshall Institute and former deputy director for peacekeeping in the Office of the Secretary of Defense. Colonel, thank you so much for joining us on WION. This question that some are asking, is the president stuck in his own strategy?
Well, he's stuck between strategic imperatives, certainly. I mean, the problem is, from Trump's perspective, the Iranian regime is authoritarian. They can do pretty much whatever they want without answering to anybody. All they have to do is say the supreme leader, who we don't even know authoritatively is alive, that he endorses it and that they do that. President Trump, on the other hand, has a democratic process. He has a Congress. His own party within Congress is split between isolationists and hawks who want to see us leave, want to see us escalate. He also has to convince allies and partners, and most importantly, he has to convince markets that there's going to be suits American interests and global commercial interests. So given the fact that you have this multitude of audiences, it shouldn't be surprising that we see somewhat contradictory statements. Sometimes he's speaking to one group, not the other. But certainly it does complicate policymaking. And I think that the delay in assessing and agreeing to this MOU and possibly renegotiating parts of it reflects that multitude of missions and imperatives.
And Colonel, what would be the most realistic outcome, considering everything you said at this point? You're absolutely right. I mean, two countries that are ideologically more far away than any two countries, if you think about it. So what would be a realistic outcome right now at this point?
Well, I think what we'll see is some sort of an agreement, and then you'll see skirmishes as both sides seek to define what the actual terms of those agreements are. So, for example, right now, Iran says, oh, no, the Strait of Hormuz is open. You just have to, submit to an inspection by us, pay us a toll, travel through our shipping lanes, not the international shipping lanes, which the media neglects. The shipping lanes are in Omani waters, not Iranian waters. So they say that it's open. I think that what will happen is that there will be an agreement, and then there'll probably be skirmishing, like we've seen last week when the U.S. Bombed a drone launch facility in Bandar Abbas and sank a couple of Iranian boats that were seeking to lay mines. There'll be skirmishing, small, not a resumption of military operation, but small-scale operations designed to sort of clarify for the other side what is acceptable activity within the realm of that agreement, and then you'll go back to negotiating. Basically, there'll be a little bit of fighting, more negotiating, a little bit of fighting, but hopefully you get up to something that will actually be an implementable and livable agreement for both sides.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, definitely, and we'll see whether or not Iran is ultimately going to be a reliable negotiating partner or not. Colonel, thank you so much for joining us on WION. I look forward to speaking to you again very soon.
It's an honor. Thank you.